Hey everyone, and welcome to this tutorial series. Hopefully by now you've already seen the short animation from a scene of Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, and in this tutorial series I'm just going to be recording how I go about making a project. I haven't yet completed what you've already seen, so hopefully it was good. But I get lots of questions. How do you do this? How do you do this? And I think if you just perhaps you guys can see my whole process in a project like this, it should give you guys a good sense of how I work everything out. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Explorer, and I have a Blender folder on my desktop. Place for all my projects. I got lots of projects, lots of incomplete ones. I'm just going to call it Lord of the Rings. I'm going to open that up. In here I'm going to create a models folder. Do I want a scenes folder? Yeah, let's do a scenes folder. And let's do a video folder. And this will just give us everything that we need for the project. That should do it for now. So we're going to start this project off. Since we're just kind of creating what was already in the film, I'm not really going to work on a storyboard or anything like that. If it's a larger project where you're doing everything yourself, we need an audio folder. Audio. Yeah, if it's your own project, then you probably want to kind of figure out where you're going before you get into models, but I really know already in my head from seeing the movie what kind of models I want, so we can just dive right in. The first model we're going to want to get is the Tower of Tower of Isengard, whatever it is called. The big black slab in the center of the rings. So that's a huge building, and I know Lego just came out with a set of that, so perhaps on Brickshelf there's an LDRAW file or an LDD file. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take advantage of a service that Lego offers called the Design by Me factory. So we're just going to go to Google, Design by Me. What they did was they created LDD and had people that you could upload all your models online. So a whole bunch of people have done that. Now you can go to the new LDD gallery, and this will get us just tons and tons of models available for use. Some, really interesting. This is half pipe. Wow. But there's actually some really amazing models out that people have created. A huge variety. Like, you want a family house? There it is. You don't have to build it. So that's what we're gonna be using. So the problem with this site though is your searches have to be completely specific. Like, if you do not type in the title of the creation name, it won't come up in the search. So let's say that it's called the Tower of Isengard, and then you put in Isengard, the model's not going to come up in your search. But thankfully I've already kind of tested this, and I know that if I put in Tower of Orthanc, then I'm going to get to... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Wrong search term. Let's see, Isengard. That's not it either. What's going on? Tower of Isengard, maybe. I don't remember. So this is the problem with the search. I know there's a really good model out there, but because I'm not putting in the creation name, it's not showing up. Here we go. That's it. I think this is the one here that we want. By Roberton Phillip. So when you're taking a model off of the LDD gallery, you want to make sure that you give credit. So I'm just going to note down this guy's name here. Roberton Phillip. I think that's right. I'm going to copy that. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to download it. open with Lego Digital Designer. Shouldn't matter. Loading model. And let's see what kind of a creation we have here. Okay, so this is a nice model, in my opinion. I'm quite happy with using that. It's not like hugely detailed, but you know, it's a lot better than what I could do. A lot better. And I don't want to be spending the time to create a massive model. So, I mean, it's not minifig scale, but for our purposes, it will hopefully do. So, obviously we need to get this into Blender somehow. So I'm going to go File, Save As. I'm going to hunt down my Lord of the Rings folder here. Go to Models. Okay, now we can save as type. There's a few different... Whoops, sorry. Oh no. Export. No, export model. There we go. Not save as, export model. Okay, so we can save it as an LXF file, or we can save it as an LDRAW file. Now we know how to get models from LDRAW into Blender, so that's what I'm going to be saving it as. Now there is one thing that I need to tell you guys about. I use a special script designed for LDD, made by Mike, and he's a great guy, awesome dude. And he made this awesome script that if you don't have it, when you're saving it as an LDRAW, it's going to look really, really ugly. So in a separate video, I've made a tutorial on how to get Mike's script, how to install it, how to work it with LDRAW and LDD. So if you don't have that and you're following along, it's going to look a little weird. Or if you want to use another model off of the Lego Factory, which is a great site, and you should be doing that, you want to be using Mike's script. So go watch that video now. Okay, once you've watched that video, or you can watch it later. It's not a big deal. I'll be okay. Anyways, okay, so Robert and Philip, I'm going to put that right at the front because I want to give him credit in the animation. Very important. Credit is important. Just saying, guys. Okay, so Robert, Philip, Tower of Isengard. We're going to save it. Okay, now we're going to go here, get MLCAD. Yes, no? MLCAD? Where's MLCAD? Why isn't that coming up? MLCAD. Windows, you fail. Why won't that open up? C, LDRAW, Apps, MLCAD. Weird. Alright, we're opening up MLCAD now. You know what? I probably could have just gone here and double-clicked that. Fail on my part. Some parts are older versions. Yes, let's upgrade them. Okay. And it has imported into Blender, into LDRAW. But we want to get into Blender. Now this is a huge model. If we attempted to do it all at once, I think it would break Blender. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit down I'm going to select half of it and see if I can get that into Blender. I have a really powerful machine, but the import script that I use for Blender isn't that great. So let's hold down Control and then just, oh, didn't mean to zoom in there. My mistake. It's very slow when you're dealing with large models. Again, I have like a quad-core computer trying to speed up this whole process, and oh no, I was just frozen. I don't know what the heck's going on here, guys. No, it's not Control. How about Alt? What is it? There's one key that lets you select everything you select without having to worry about. I thought it was Control. So sure it was Control. Man, that sucks. Okay, so it's not Control. That's a fail. Alright then, let's just select what we can. That'll be about half. That's about half the model. So we're going to copy that, and then multi-part, new model. You're going to see a lot of trial error in this tutorial. It's just as I go, so I apologize for that. Let's just call it submodel, yay. Paste that in. And then remember to go back here and delete what you pasted. I know this is kind of confusing, but once you fool around with it, you'll hopefully understand why I'm doing some of this. Or you might see what I'm doing and be like, well, you're crazy, why don't you just do this? And in that case, by all means, let me know. We're going to export that to our desktop. And then we're going to open up Blender 2.49. I don't think the import script... Oh, what? What the heck was that? I don't even know. I don't even know. Still going to work? Desktop. I got some weird files on here. Probably should have cleaned them up before doing this, but oh well. What was it? Untitled? There it is. Roberton Philip Tower of Orthanc. Import Eldraw. And wait. This is where things get messy. So because it's such a large file, it's going to take ages for Blender to import it. By ages, I mean ages. That's why I split it into half, hopefully to speed it up. I might have to split it again. I'm going to pause the recording, and I will come back to you in a second. Okay, so we've got this first part imported in here. Now, we can't really see it, but we hit our A. R, and there it is. So there's half of our model imported. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Shift Save. Nope, Control Save. Just save it as untitled save file. Okay, now we're going to go back to Eldraw and I'm just going to import this whole thing now. It might be a little more than, take a little longer than the other one did, but that's okay, you guys can wait. No, don't worry, I won't make you guys sit through that. Okay, so that's saved as untitled. So now what we can do is we can close that and open up a new Blender. Still don't know what that is. Clear those out. File, import, Eldraw, and there that is. Import Eldraw. Okay, now we wait again. Do. Okay, so here we have our the rest of our model imported into this untitled or unnamed, unsaved Blender Blender project. So as usual, everything gets kind of messed up with the size, so we're going to hit A to select all and rotate it, which will solve that particular issue. So this is only half of our model, and the color's all gone messed up, so I guess I'm just fixing that here. You'll notice when I go into edit mode here that there's a lot of unused vertices, so those are going to have to be done away with at some point. I don't know if I've gone through this explanation before in a previous tutorial, but with a Lego brick you have all these parts or constructs of the brick that you don't see, like the inner tubes or studs that get covered up. You don't see those, but when you import from Eldraw, though, that data gets imported, and as you can see, we're over 1 million vertices in this, so you kind of have to clean that up. Okay, we're going to save this. Models. So we're going to save this as the actual file that we'll edit, so Tower of Orthon, and then what we're going to do is we're going to import on a separate layer. We're going to import the other file that we saved as untitled onto our desktop. So we're going to go there. I think that was Control P or Control Shift P to get to here, A to select all the files, and we're going to import it into our active layer so that they don't overlap. The downside of this is all those pieces are now connected, but these pieces on the first layer, they're connected. So when you're deleting those vertices that I've talked about before, let's say there's a 2x4 brick, okay, and you want to delete all the studs. Oh, what's this? Okay, so we're gonna change over to Blender 2.64 now. Right now I'm just doing a voiceover. I recorded this a couple months ago, so I don't really remember all of what I did here. So I'm just trying to guide you guys through. I probably should have done a voiceover. So we're just opening it as in Blender 2.64, but it's not going to work because we did load UI, and I don't really want to do that. I want the Blender 2.64 user interface, which I've since upgraded off of. But okay, so we're gonna add a camera. Get that pointing towards the model so we can see what we're doing. See, the memory's huge, and that's something that those vertices. We're almost at 2 million vertices. That's a lot of data. So we're gonna spend a lot of time just getting that down so it's manageable. So I guess I saved it. There. Okay, now we're gonna unselect load UI so we get the Blender 2.64 user interface, and we'll load it up again. Very slow to use. Go to our camera mode. I think we might have to change how much the camera sees because you can't see it there. So change it to HD render settings. And here, the clipping, that means that's how much the camera can see. So we're going to upgrade that so we can see the whole tower and we can see what's going on. Whoops, something went wrong there. Probably would just work best if you just type it in. So, obviously the viewport thing isn't working that well. Okay, well, let's just skip this render, shall we? So you can't really see too much. We're gonna have to change the background color. We're gonna have to add some ambient lighting, ambiance. The horizontal color, make it white, just so you can see it nice and clearly. Add ambient occlusion, and I think, do we do indirect lighting? Yeah, yes. Ooh, environment, indirect. Oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Again, this was like 3 months ago that I recorded this, so yeah. Let's skip this render too. Well, you still can't really see it that well. Maybe we should add a light. Oh yeah, look at that. Adding a light. Sun. And make the length hit the actual tower. We're gonna change those render presets. Nope. Nope, not gonna do that yet. Let's skip this render too. You can see a bit more, still not very much though. Okay, so now we're going to get dealing with those vertices that I was talking about before. So if you look at this brick here, there's all those studs and the inner tubes, and nobody's actually going to see those, but that's still data that's the computer has to process. When really all it needs is a box, which is I don't know, 8 faces compared to all those round faces that you have. So go into edit mode, hit tab. You can see that if you modify one of these, you pretty much modify every single one that's connected to it, and there's a lot connected to it. So it kind of gets a bit tricky because you don't really want to any studs that are showing or tubes or whatever. You want to keep those, but all the ones that are hidden, you gotta get rid of. So you kind of gotta figure out if I hit X right now and delete all those vertices, is it going to affect anything? Is it going to change how the model looks? Is it going to take away from the realism? And I guess I've decided here that it doesn't. So yeah, I'm going to do this for a long time. It takes a while, but I think it's worth it, in my opinion, because 2 million vertices or whatever is just not enough. Remember, we did 2 imports, so unfortunately you kind of have to edit both ones. So I'm going to keep messing around with this, and yeah, I'm not going to show it all to you. I haven't recorded all the work that I've done, but basically you just got to make it a big skeleton. You don't have to. If your computer can handle it, then your computer can handle it, right? So don't worry about it. But in my opinion, it is well worth the time. Okay, when I come back, I will have the finished model. Okay, so I've done some more work on the model, and we should have a completed model here. If you go in and look, you can see that a lot of those unnecessary vertices have been removed, and instead of almost 2 million vertices, we're down to 836,000. That's still a lot, still using a lot of memory, but better than it was before. And we should be able to edit with it. So I'll just do a quick render, and you can see how it's looking. I've kind of turned the definition way up on it, so it should be should give us a good idea of what we have to work with. So as you can see, there's no reflection going on yet. There's no spaces between the bricks. That's all stuff that we'll probably add in. I don't know, we'll figure out how to do that. It's gonna be tricky with so many bricks. We might break the model up into multiple parts so that we can work with that, but I'd say it's pretty good. So we're ready to move on to the next part, which is getting the minifigs going. So that will be the next tutorial. Hopefully you guys will carry on over that. See you there.